The mind-money paradox. The promise of effortless wealth and abundant living holds a powerful, almost mystical allure. It speaks to a universal human desire for security, freedom, and a sense of control in an unpredictable world. For decades, popular culture has been captivated by the idea that there exists a secret, a hidden law of the universe that, if mastered, can manifest financial success through nothing more than positive thought. This narrative, popularized by movements and documentaries like The Secret, suggests that the universe is a kind of vending machine, ready to dispense riches in response to a specific mindset. This deep-seated craving for financial security is rooted in our evolutionary wiring. From a neurological standpoint, the brain equates resources with safety and status. Research in neuroscience has shown that the brain releases a surge of dopamine, a key neurotransmitter for motivation and reward, when it anticipates monetary gains, making a rising bank balance more thrilling than even social media engagement. This report, however, reveals that the true secret is not a mystical force, but a tangible, scientifically verifiable power residing within your own mind. The energy of abundance is not an external cosmic force, it is the physical, neurochemical, and cognitive potential of your brain. The real secret to reprogramming your mind for wealth lies not in passive thought, but in a profound understanding of your brain's operating system, the beliefs that shape it, and the proven behaviors that translate mental change into tangible results. The following sections will provide a masterclass in behavioral finance and neuroscience, meticulously deconstructing the myths of manifestation and building a practical, science-based roadmap to lasting financial abundance. The science of the wealth brain, neuroplasticity and behavior. The foundation of true mindset transformation is neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself. This is not a metaphor, it is a physical and functional process of adaptive change within the nervous system. The brain constantly rewires its structure and connections in response to intrinsic or extrinsic stimuli, such as learning, experience, and even injury. When an individual repeatedly practices a skill, a belief, or an action, the associated neural pathways grow stronger and more efficient, much like a well-worn path in a forest. This explains why habits, both beneficial and detrimental, become so ingrained, they are deeply etched neural ruts that the brain defaults to. Conversely, neural pathways that are not used weaken and can eventually dissipate over time. Our belief systems, particularly those related to money and wealth, are not abstract ideas, they are physical, hardwired neural templates. They act as preset, organized filters that our brains use to distill complex information from the environment and jump to conclusions. For example, a scarcity mindset, defined as the belief that resources are always limited, is a cognitive filter that can lead to overly conservative financial behaviors like hoarding cash, even when a person has achieved financial security. This belief system, once established, can make a person less receptive to opportunities that do not fit within their preconceived notion of how wealth is created. The brain's resistance to changing these deeply held beliefs is a significant hurdle. The human brain prioritizes what is known as cognitive homeostasis, a stable, familiar approach to processing information. Radically restructuring one's worldview is an effortful, energy-consuming process. When presented with new information that contradicts an existing belief, the brain experiences cognitive dissonance, a state of mental discomfort. The brain's default, energy-saving tendency is to resolve this discomfort by doubling down on the old belief, ignoring or explaining away the contradictory information. This explains why people often struggle to adopt new financial habits, even when the evidence for their effectiveness is overwhelming. The challenge is not a lack of knowledge, but a deeply ingrained neural reluctance to change. Central to this process is the neuromodulator dopamine, which is the common currency for motivation and goal pursuit. Dopamine does not simply provide a feeling of pleasure, it surges in anticipation of a reward, acting as a powerful signal that reinforces a behavior. This is the physiological mechanism behind our drive. The basal ganglia, deep within the forebrain, are critical structures that play a central role in habit formation. They help us develop actions that eventually become automatic and effortless. By consciously choosing to engage in healthy financial behaviors, such as setting up an automated investment plan or tracking expenses, an individual can begin to train the basal ganglia to associate these actions with the anticipation of future rewards. Over time, what was once a difficult, conscious effort becomes an automatic habit, freeing up mental energy and aligning behavior with long-term financial goals. From pseudoscience to psychology, deconstructing the energy secrets. The modern notion of the law of attraction, LOA, is a spiritual belief that positive or negative thoughts bring corresponding experiences into a person's life. This concept originated in the 19th century New Thought movement, with roots in philosophical traditions like Hermeticism and New England Transcendentalism. It was repackaged and popularized in the 21st century by self-help phenomena like The Secret, which intentionally focused on wealth enhancement to appeal to a mass audience. The core premise is that thoughts are energy that vibrates at a specific frequency, attracting like energy to materialize desires into reality. While the LOA is superficially empowering, it lacks any empirical scientific evidence and is widely considered to be pseudoscience. Proponents often misuse scientific concepts, such as quantum physics, to give their claims a veneer of credibility. However, the most concerning aspects of the LOA are its psychological and ethical dangers. The philosophy can lead to an insidious form of victim blaming, where all misfortune is seen as a direct consequence of one's own negative thoughts. According to this belief, a person who experiences job loss, illness, or even abuse has attracted that misfortune through their own negative energy. This can lead to immense guilt and shame, undermining resilience and the ability to cope with adversity. Furthermore, a belief in the LOA has been associated with higher financial risk-taking behaviors and an increased susceptibility to bankruptcy. The LOA's emphasis on passive visualization can also be detrimental. Some of its most extreme teachings suggest that taking action or creating a plan demonstrates a lack of faith in the universe, a dangerous fallacy that fundamentally misunderstands the role of human effort in achieving goals. The scientific alternative to this mystical framework is the psychological principle of the self-fulfilling prophecy. This concept states that our beliefs about ourselves and the world directly influence our behavior and, as a result, the outcomes we experience. A person who genuinely believes they can succeed is more likely to put in the hard work, overcome obstacles, and actively seek out opportunities. This belief is not a magical magnet. It is a powerful motivational engine that drives a person to take meaningful action. The self-fulfilling prophecy explains the perceived effectiveness of manifestation through a clear, causal chain. A positive belief in one's ability to succeed, a growth mindset, leads to a motivated state, which then leads to a series of consistent, goal-oriented actions, ultimately producing the desired result. This framework emphasizes that success is the result of focused effort and resilience, not wishful thinking. The practical toolkit, rewiring your brain for abundance. Mindset work is not an end in itself, it is a crucial prelude to action. The following are scientifically backed techniques that can be used to actively reprogram your brain for success, bridging the gap between intention and tangible results. Visualization as mental rehearsal. Visualization is not about passively daydreaming. From a psychological perspective, it is a form of mental rehearsal. When an individual vividly imagines a desired outcome, they engage the mirror neuron system in the brain, which rehearses the experience as if it is real. This primes the brain and body for success. This mental practice builds confidence, reduces anxiety, and prepares the brain to perform efficiently when the actual opportunity arises. This is why athletes and performers use visualization to improve their skills. They are strengthening the neural pathways for a specific action before they even perform it. Gratitude, the happiness and abundance loop. Gratitude is a powerful tool for neuroplasticity that goes far beyond a polite emotion. Research shows that regularly practicing gratitude, through journaling or meditation, can physically rewire the brain. It activates the medial prefrontal cortex, a region associated with empathy, social bonding, and emotional regulation. The practice of gratitude has been shown to decrease cortisol levels, the body's primary stress hormone, which can improve sleep quality and emotional resilience. A sustained gratitude practice can create an upward spiral of positive emotions, which, in turn, has been shown to enhance cognitive abilities and promote more productive behaviors. This positive state makes an individual more open and receptive to new opportunities they might otherwise have missed. Affirmations as cognitive restructuring. Affirmations are positive statements that, when repeated consistently, serve as a form of cognitive restructuring. The brain's neural pathways related to negative self-talk are like deep, well-worn ruts. Affirmations work by consciously weakening these negative ruts and strengthening new, empowering neural connections. This is an active, intentional act of neuroplasticity, akin to a workout for the brain. The key to effective affirmations is to make them emotionally plausible and believable, not just a rote, monotone repetition. The more an individual can feel the truth of the statement, the more effectively it can reprogram the subconscious mind and align thoughts and actions with the desired reality. The crucial role of action. The neuroscience of manifestation makes it clear that mind work is only half the equation. The brain requires congruence between thought and behavior. If a person's actions do not align with their visualizations and affirmations, the resulting cognitive dissonance will sabotage their efforts. Therefore, the final, critical step is to take micro-actions. These small, consistent steps trigger a release of dopamine and reinforce the new neural pathways that have been built through visualization and affirmations. It is these small wins that build momentum, solidify belief, and turn the theoretical blueprint of a reprogrammed mind into a tangible, lived reality. The Millionaire's Roadmap: Habits, Not Magic. The popular narrative of sudden riches is often a tantalizing fairy tale, but it is not the reality for the overwhelming majority of wealthy individuals. A large-scale research study, the National Study of Millionaires, by Ramsey Solutions, provides hard data that shatters common myths about how wealth is created. The study of over 10,000 U.S. millionaires found that the story of a young genius with a high-paying job who gets rich overnight is the exception, not the rule. The data reveals that wealth is the result of disciplined, consistent action over an extended period of time. This section will detail the foundational habits that lead to lasting wealth, proving that a solid financial mindset is only as powerful as the habits it inspires. Consistent saving and investing, this is the primary driver of wealth. According to the study, 3 out of 4 millionaires stated that regular, consistent investing over a long period of time was the reason for their success. 80% of millionaires invested in their company's 401k plan, and 75% also invested outside of these plans. On average, the millionaires surveyed worked, saved, and invested for 28 years before reaching the $1 million mark. Living below your means, the data shows that self-made millionaires are not extravagant spenders. 94% of them live on less than they make, and nearly 3/4 have never carried a credit card balance in their lives. They are careful with their spending, with 93% using coupons and spending less than $200 a month on restaurants. This habit of frugality allows them to redirect money towards savings and investments, building their bank accounts instead of constantly paying off debt. Continuous learning. The millionaire mindset is defined by a commitment to lifelong learning. These individuals invest heavily in their knowledge, reading books, attending seminars, and learning from mentors. A strong correlation exists between financial literacy and wealth accumulation. The study found that 88% of millionaires graduated from college, and over half earned a master's or doctoral degree. This data suggests that the degree itself, rather than the prestige of the institution, is what matters, a sign of a person's commitment to self-improvement. Strategic risk-taking and resilience. The path to wealth is rarely smooth. The report will feature case studies of entrepreneurs like Oprah Winfrey, Sarah Blakely, and Medhat Zaki, who all faced significant setbacks and failures. Their stories highlight the importance of perseverance, viewing failure as a learning opportunity, and constantly adapting. The willingness to take calculated risks and step outside of one's comfort zone is a key characteristic of the millionaire mindset. The blueprint for a lifetime of wealth and abundance. The journey to wealth is not a matter of magical thinking, it is a marathon of personal growth and consistent, disciplined action. True abundance is a holistic state that transcends mere financial success. It encompasses mental resilience, emotional well-being, and a sense of purpose. Research shows a direct link between healthy financial behaviors, such as consistent saving, and improved mental health. By developing a stable financial foundation, an individual can reduce stress, create long-term security, and gain access to opportunities that foster independence and personal growth. In this context, money becomes a tool for creating freedom and positive impact, not a goal in itself. The millionaire mindset is not about the ruthless accumulation of cash but about using wealth to solve problems, create positive change, and make a lasting impact. The power to change your financial reality is not an external force or an energy that must be summoned from the cosmos. It is an internal one, residing within the incredible, yet scientifically understood, capacity of the human brain. The blueprint for a lifetime of wealth and abundance is a 4-step process: reframe your mind, commit to action, build proven habits, and cultivate resilience. This is a journey of continuous personal development, one step at a time, until the vision of abundance you hold in your mind becomes the reality you live.